They say that when we die, we pass away twice. Once when our physical body passes, and once when the last person on this planet that knows our name passes away too. So then the question begs is, how do we become an honorable ancestor? How do we become a well ancestor? And what does that mean? My name is Sassy Sarah Monroe. My intro was supposed to be, my name is Sarah Monroe, Sassy Sarah Monroe if you nasty. And I messed it up, but that's okay. Because, guys, this is like easily my fifth or sixth time recording this video, and we're just going to let it roll. And today we're going to be talking about having coffee with our ancestors. Okay, so some of you might see this big thing right here in my video. So I'm going to push it down. This is my French press. We're going to have coffee with my ancestors. Every morning, I pour a cup of coffee to be with them, to say their name, to acknowledge their existence, to say thank you for having survived everything that you survived so that I could be here, so that my children could be here, and maybe one day my great grandchildren or my grandchildren, great grandchildren, what have you, so on and so forth. And so every day I pour them a cup of coffee and I say their names, specifically my maternal and paternal grandmothers. On my father's side, it is Uretta. I called her Mama. On my mother's side, her name is Hilda, and I called her Granny. So every day in this mug, I pour them a cup of coffee and I say their name. And sometimes I call in my guardians, guides, God, Goddess, the Great Mystery. Uh, and then I realized one day that I'm calling their name and I'm being with them every day, but I'm not sitting down and spending time with them. And I wanted to start this channel for quite some time, so thank you for being here. If this is your first time, because it's my first video, um, and I wanted to create space to be with them, to read to them, and maybe perhaps you'll be able to create space for yours. And then I am going to pour my own cup of coffee today. And I've got my cute little creamer. Still learning, guys. Still learning. So I'm going to pour some of my creamer in there and set that to the side. I'm going to pour some coffee in here and then set that to the side. And then you and I are going to have a little conversation. All right. So, what does it mean to be an honorable ancestor, or sometimes it's called to be a well ancestor? In my esoteric practice, I am a wild woman, a witch. I have been a practitioner for collectively over 20 years. I move very intuitively, so what feels good in my body is how I express myself. And um, I live very closely with the earth, but I'm still learning how to live very closely with the earth. So, in this attempt to record and film in different places, different angles, different shots, I just wanted to come to you fully, completely. I am fresh up in the morning, haven't brushed my teeth, haven't washed my face, don't have my contacts in. I did have my glasses on, but the light was glaring a little bit too much, so I thought no today. But I wanted to come to you as I would come to my ancestors, because there's nothing wrong with that. To be a well ancestor is to be a person who has lived a good life. Have you lived a good life? Have you been honorable? Have you been ethical? Have you tended to the earth? Have you taken care of the people around you? Have you allowed the people around you to take care of you as well? It has to be a reciprocal relationship. Have you stewarded the earth? The idea that we own land is a wild concept. We are here temporarily, and we're here to take care of Mama, and Mama will take care of us. She always has, always will, and she doesn't need us, but she likes for us to tend to her. And in doing those things, I hope that I will become the well ancestors that my lineage, my descendants, will one day call upon for protection, for guidance, for love, for um, abundance, all of the things. And when we cultivate spaces like this on a daily practice, when we allow our ancestors to have their name be spoken, we are making sure that they are staying alive, regardless if it's not in this physical realm. It's in our hearts, it's in our minds. And entering into midlife, it dawned on me that one day I will no longer be here, and my children will not have me as their guidance. And You might hear some clippity clops from one of my doggos. And realizing that I won't be here one day, it dawned on me how my grandmothers aren't here. And specifically, I work with the women's line of my lineage. Not to say one day I won't work with uh, my masculine lineage. Just right now, it feels the most aligned to be in with my women. And I think about Mama and I think about Granny, Yoretta, and Hilda, respectively. And I think about them, and I don't know what their favorite color was, and I don't know what their favorite perfume was, their favorite flower. Did they plant gardens in their youth? Because they didn't in their elder years. Not when I knew them. Didn't have vegetable gardens, I should say. They had flower gardens. What was their favorite outfit? What's their favorite memory? What's the funniest joke? What's the dirtiest joke that they know? There's so many things that I don't know about them. And I am blessed to live in a day and age where the digital landscape is something that I have access to. And so I would like to make a living diary, a living digital diary, so that for as long as the internet and YouTube exist, my family has access to get to know me a little bit better. And I'll elaborate on that in just a moment, but to also come back to me whenever they're feeling lonely or sad, when my body leaves this earth. And so what I mean by getting to know me, we have perceptions, right? Like I can say my mother's favorite color is red, and I know it's red, but that's something that I know, because I can ask her, right? I can go, hey, what's your favorite color? And her mother, my granny, is no longer here. So I can say, hey, mom, what was granny's favorite color? And it is her perception of what her mother's favorite color was, unless she says, specifically said, Debbie, my favorite color is red. So it's my mom's perception of what her mother's favorite color was. Because we view our parents differently. We don't see them as whole people necessarily. We see them as our caretaker and as our protector, hopefully, if that is the life that you experienced. But a lot of our memories are based on the perception of what we remember. And sometimes our memories don't do us right. They do us dirty, right? And having a digital diary offers my children the possibility to remember me, but also get to know me on levels that they don't know because I'm their mother and I have to present myself differently as their caretaker. So, yes, I hope that this is a way for me to continue to be in their lives when I'm no longer in their lives. And I hope that's 40, 50, 60 years from now. But I wanted to offer you the opportunity to also think about that and how you're leaving the memory of yourself with your lineage and how you're honoring the ones who are no longer with us by having a cup of coffee with them. Or you could have tea. Sometimes I'll make myself a midday tea and I'll give them a little bit. Or wine at the end of the night. Or perhaps you know that your grandmother didn't like coffee, but there's something very particular of your lineage that she did like. Or if you're honoring your grandfather, perhaps it's something specific that they liked. Honor them in that way. All you need is a little bit. You can't see it. I'm still learning the angles, guys. My cup is full. Their cup has just a little tipple. They don't need a lot, is the idea of the embodiment, the energy of the honoring. So beautiful, crazy raining day outside. And I just wanted to share this with you. So, one of the things that I realized that I also don't know about my grandmothers is whether or not they were readers. Again, in my time when I knew them, they didn't read a lot. I would share watching Hee Haw with my granny, and I know how deeply my grandma loved Jesus. Like, those are the things that I very much remember. But I'm a reader, and have these passages and quotes and things that have just hit my soul so deeply. And making space for my ancestors, I wanted to share with them some things that I love. And so I wanted to share this with you. So I've had this book for weeks, maybe even months. And I've had it on my kitchen table and I've not picked it up one time. So this is probably going to be reversed because I'm using my front facing camera because I have anxiety about whether or not this is actually recording because my phone stopped recording multiple times. Regardless, this is The Woman's Book of Soul: Meditations for Courage, Confidence, and Spirit by Sue Patton Tolley. I think that's how you say her last name. And when I was moving it yesterday to do the first of many recordings, I just randomly opened the book to any particular page. And that page had an excerpt, excuse me, called Freeing Inner Elders. And so I want to read it to you. So there's a little bit of a meditation towards the end if you feel called to be a part of it. And if not, that's okay too. All right. Freeing Inner Elders. Each of us has within her emissaries of light, inner elders who need to be recognized and claimed as we awaken to our wisdom. We have, excuse me, we have been so brainwashed by puritanical facets of our culture into believing that we are innately sinful and shameful beings, that we tend to negate, ignore, distrust our light-filled divine selves. But don't be surprised if you meet a mystic, priestess, artist, philosopher, or gathering of wise elders as you explore the depths and heights of your inner self. The light is within us. We are asked to know ourselves, sunbeams and shadows alike, and through love and acceptance, transform our shadow material, liberating its life force to become a source of light, vitality, and power. The diamond of our being sparkles more brilliantly when all facets are turned towards the light. Our inner elders retain their innocence and divinity, no matter what wounds we may have sustained in the school of life. As reflections of the beloved's fire, emissaries of light are eternally willing to illuminate our paths. Opening to them and accepting their reality invites their wisdom to guide us. When set free, the elders of our souls can guide us on our quest for reunion with God, no matter how you see that face. Close your eyes and gently encourage your body to relax and your mind to quiet. Breathe deeply in through your nose and out through your mouth. Sink ever more deeply into the soft silence. As you feel ready, see or sense yourself in the midst of a gathering of wise elders. One or two of them may be clearer to you than others. If you don't feel blessed by their presence, allow them to fade and invite in those with whom you feel absolutely loved. Immerse yourself in their love, honoring the fact that these elders are an integral part of your vast storehouse of wisdom. Take a deep breath, deep inhale, and exhale. And when you are ready, repeat after me. I have within me a vast storehouse of wisdom. I and my emissaries of light dance joyfully with the beloved. I hope that served you well. I hope this video finds you well. I hope you join me again next week for another coffee with my ancestors. I hope you invite your ancestors to the table. If you have an excerpt, something, a passage that just lights your soul on fire, share it with me. I would love to share it with everyone else. And I hope to see you next time. Bye.